You guys delivered on your end, and it's time that I deliver too. Last time that I made a Marvel Spider-Man 2 video discussing some of the costumes that I would like to see for Peter Parker Spider-Man, I challenged you guys to hit 1,000 likes within 24 hours, and boy oh boy, you guys over-delivered. We hit 1,500 likes, which is amazing. Hopefully we can match that here today with some hype from Miles, but today I'm going to list the 5 costumes that I'm hoping to see for Miles Morales in Marvel Spider-Man 2. Now, of course, as you're smashing the thumbs up button, don't forget to share your thoughts down in the comment section down below, letting me know which costumes you would like to see as well. Now, Miles is a very interesting character because he's a character that's relatively new. And so unlike Peter, even in the Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales video game, we're getting a lot of costumes that are brand new, that are just original ideas, some of which I absolutely freaking love. I mean, Miles Morales 2020 suit is one of my favorite looks in comic books ever. I love that costume. I think it looks sick, but it also makes it very challenging to come up with costumes for Miles because there is really not a lot to select from in the history of the comics, the films, etc. Oh, don't you worry, but this is not a cop-out. I still think I have a very solid list. So let's kick things off with a very controversial one, and that is going to be the 10th anniversary suit. So for those that don't know, for the 10th anniversary of Miles Morales appearing in the Marvel Comics, he got himself a brand new costume. And the reason why I'm saying this is controversial is because this is a very divisive suit. The vast majority of people do not like this suit. That is why they pretty much introduced it and scrapped it within like 2 months of release. It is just not a very popular design. Now, for me personally, I think that if he wasn't wearing that kind of like oversized hoodie or jacket or sweater, I think it would look a lot better. In fact, I think the suit looks in general a lot better when he's not wearing that sort of like oversized jacket. But I will also say that I'm not a huge fan of the pink on the costume. When I think of Spider-Man, I really need the red color to be present. I think that that's kind of an iconic element of any version of Spider-Man that we're speaking of. And that's why actually there has been a redesign of this suit where it's a red color scheme, and I actually think it looks quite good. I would not mind if this is the version that they went with in Marvel Spider-Man 2. Next, let's head into the Spiderverse. No, I did not misspeak there. I am talking about Into the Spiderverse, and I know what you're saying. Blitz, are you crazy? We already have Into the Spider-Verse in the previous game. Why would you mention this as one of the suits? Well, the suit that we did not have in the game, I would love to see, is the one with the shorts and the green and red hoodie. I think that that was such an iconic look of the character in so much of the promo material. There's been so much merchandise made for that costume, and shockingly so, it did not actually appear in the previous Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales video game. Now, I know what you're saying, Blitz, but what about the sportswear suit? Yes, that's true. It's kind of ish similar. It does have the shorts, it does have the hoodie kind of aesthetic, but I want the look from the film. I want that aesthetic. I want that cel-shaded look. I want that animated look that we saw in the film specifically. And obviously, you should have a very different mask design, unlike the sportswear suit. Now, unlike my previous 2 selections, I would be shocked if anyone disagrees with me on this one. The Dark Ages storyline in the Marvel Comics introduced a symbiote costume for Miles Morales, and I absolutely freaking love that look. I think it looks tremendous. Again, I've said before that my favorite symbiote design for Miles is actually the one where he's possessing both, or he's the host for both Venom and Carnage. I think that's the coolest looking one, but obviously if we're not introducing Carnage in this game, it kind of would not make sense to introduce a costume like it. So I would be perfectly fine if we simply get the symbiote design for Miles Morales. I think this just looks so cool. It's a very sleek looking retake. I love the kind of sort of hoodie aesthetic being available as well for this one. Just a big fan of this one. Cannot wait to hopefully have this one in the game. For the next selection, we're staying in the comic book realm because Miles Morales is finally getting an Iron Spider suit. As part of his encounter with Carnage and the craziness that is going on in the comics right now for Miles Morales, he is actually getting his own Iron Spider suit. And I would love to see this costume in the game for a multitude of reasons. I think it'd be cool to have an Iron Spider suit for Miles. So even if this didn't exist in the comics, I think this would be a cool idea no matter what. But in addition to that, like I said, Miles doesn't have as many pre-made costumes. He doesn't really have as many iconic looks just because he hasn't been around as much as Peter has. So Peter has a multitude of different costumes, a multitude of different versions of him that exist. So because of that, it's a lot easier to build up a roster of suits for Peter. With Miles, it's a lot more tricky, but any one of the redesigns that has appeared in the comics, movies, or games, I think is a no-brainer to be included in Marvel's Spider-Man 2. The only thing I could see preventing this one from appearing is the fact that it is a very, very new costume making its debut literally the week that I am uploading this video, but I really hope that maybe the mad folks over at Insomniac Games still figure out a way to include this one in the game. And last but certainly not least, let's get creative. I think this one is one that makes perfect sense for me, but I'm looking forward to hearing what you guys think. So I'm going to name it first and foremost, and that is going to be a Rhino inspired suit. Now, I know when you're hearing that, you're like, what the heck is that? Well, essentially, I would love to see a costume that is kind of a little bit more bulky, or something that Miles would possibly wear to be a bit more of a scrappy fight, kind of inspired by Rhino. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I feel like with Miles, there's so much more room for creativity to come up with these unique new suits, just because he doesn't have a huge roster of them, as I've been saying throughout today's video. But in addition to that, I feel like Rhino played a very important role in Miles's character development. I mean, he took on quote-unquote Rhino as Miles Morales before he had any sort of powers in this universe back in the Marvel Spider-Man video game. So I would love to see some sort of an homage to that idea with a suit that is inspired by Rhino. He does have a suit that's inspired by Prowler, so I think it would kind of look really cool if we got something that's a little bit Rhino-esque for Miles Morales. So there you have it, guys. That's my list for the Miles Morales suits I am hoping to see in Marvel's Spider-Man 2. Let me know if you guys agree or disagree with the list down in the comment section below. Smash that thumbs up button if you haven't yet. And if you'd like to check out the latest Marvel Spider-Man 2 news video, it is currently on your screen. Enjoy. Thank you guys so very much for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.